everyone, welcome back. And really this is day one of Creep on June. In my previous video I showed you how I made the cover and put my journal together, and if you watch that you will notice I've added a few more details in onto the cover. And I've taken Nevermore Ledger, and I've taken this from the calendar which is on the Tracie Fox website, which has all the links to the different days in June, and if you click on those links as the day arrives, you'll be taken to the video of the day for that creator. So I've taken the top of this and just cut it off and use that as my title, and I have picked one of the quotes. Now, a bit of a confession, I cut up all the ephemera and the envelopes and tuck spots and things yesterday and put them all in a nice case to keep them safe, and then I realised that what Tracie had done was had sort of one allocated per day. I've mixed them all up. So I'm actually just going to use them in any random order. So if you see other people using things in specific orders, you can do that. Mine's going to be a little more random. So I've chosen this quote to go on the front, and it says, "Keeping time, time, time in a sort of runic rhyme. Oh, the bells, 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 what a tale their terror tells." And I thought that was quite appropriate because, you know, the ledger is all about the creatures and things that Edgar Allan Poe sees. And sort of carrying on that theme, really, this is actually the first page in the kit. This is sort of day one page, or page one. As you can see, I've cut it in half, and this piece here really introduces what the ledger or the journal is about, and it talks about the beings catalogue herein are not drawn from dreams but from observation, fevered or otherwise. And this is really introducing, as I say. So what I've done, I'd like to put this on here on the inside cover. So what I've done is I've roughed up the edges, I've sort of distressed them a bit, and then I've inked them with a sepia ink, and today I want to do something with that on there. Now the other half of this page, as you will see, sort of fits because it has a lot of the sketches of some of these mythical creatures that Poe is talking about. And rather than just plonk this on here, I think what I want to do is to run with this idea and reprint some of the other pages so that I can sort of do a similar theme and cut out some of the sketches and put them onto here. But anyway, let's get this one on first. I have a couple of ideas, and I want it to look quite like a bit of notepaper, really. So I've got a paper clip. I've got a couple of other bits and pieces. I found this quite nice. Can you see that? It's like a pen nib. And I wondered about putting that on. But I'm thinking, and this is a bit of a grotty, rusty paper clip, which I think is appropriate, and I maybe just want to put that on the top corner there, or maybe the other way up, and just have it like it's quite casually clipped on. I'm wondering about even like a feather there, thinking about old quills and things like that. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and run with my idea. I'm going to print off, reprint a couple of the pages and cut some of these sketches out, and then we can do the double page spread. So bear with me, I'll be back. So I've taken these images from the pages of this kit, and I've just what am I saying? I've edited them and I've cut and pasted them into a Word doc and printed them out. So I'm going to tear these out so that I've got some rough edges, and I've also printed this, which is a couple of pages of script, and I've printed it quite small. Now this was a free downloadable from Book and Paper Arts, so do have a look on their channel. So my idea is to sort of tear some of these and use them to create some kind of something reminiscent of this, but on this first page. And this is really a bit of an introduction to the journal or the ledger. But before I do that, I am going to stick this in. Yeah, I'm going to do that first. Make a decision, Jem. Come on. Right, I'm going to stick that in. I'm going to keep that there, and I'm going to, yeah, I'm going to actually just put that. I love that feather. I'm going to poke that through there. Like that. Or down there, maybe. Okay, I'm going to stick this on first. So I'm just going to glue this on and... Okay, I'm quite liking the look of that layout. But before I glue it down, I've also got this. Now, I can't take credit for this idea. This idea came from Adventure in Crafting and Art, which I believe is one of the channels that's taken part in Tracie's collaborative project this week. And in their prep video, they talked about doing this. These are the words, the list of words that come with the word search puzzles from the kit. And so what I've done, and this is what she suggested to do, was to cut and paste those words onto a separate sheet, and then you've got them to cut out and use in your journal or in whatever you're doing for Creep on June. So awesome idea. So I've taken that and just blatantly copied it. So I'm going to have a look and just see if there's any of these words which I can add on maybe into here, and then I'm going to stick all this down. Alright, so I've chosen 3 of those and I've just carefully torn them out. Again, I'm going to use my sepia ink, and they're printed on some actually just genuinely old paper, which does have some quite interesting foxing on it in places, but I want these to be a little more coloured. And I'm going to pop these on in various places, a bit like, actually I wonder whether I could turn them into a field label. Ooh. I'm going to find my labels. Right, I've pulled out these, and this is just, it's a piece of really old newspaper, and I've gessoed it and used my label stamps on it, and I'm thinking that they might go on just like that. So let's cut a couple of these out and see what happens. Okay, I'm happy with that. I'm going to go and glue this down. I might move these around a little bit. Sort of a bit of an empty space up there. But that's going to be the gist of it. So let's get that stuck down. I'm going to use my matte gel medium just because I find it nice and reliable. I don't know where my usual glue brush has gone today, so I've got this one, which is actually quite a nice paintbrush. It's not actually that good as a glue brush, but anyway, we'll live with it. And I will have to have a hunt around for my glue brush. Right, I got to be honest and say I'm a little bit, not worried, but I'm interested to see how I get on with this journal and this project, because the pages that Tracie has produced in this kit are just gorgeous, and they already have lots and lots of detail in them, and I'm really not used to working with pages that have already got lots of detail in, and so I'm having a little bit of a dilemma in my head at the moment about how that's going to work for me in terms of putting together all the beautiful elements that are in this kit. So that's, but you know, it's good to be challenged. It's good to do things out of our normal comfort zone and out of what we would normally do, and I think sometimes that's where the learning comes. So something I'm looking forward to, and I'm really looking forward to starting to see everyone else's videos, because of course here in New Zealand we tend to be a bit ahead of everybody else in terms of time. So you know, what is the 1st of June for me is not necessarily the 1st of June anywhere else in the world. So hopefully by this evening some other people's videos will have started to come up, and I'll be interested to have a look at some of those. Okay, I think that was roughly where it was. Now I'm not going to be doing a video every day, but I'm aiming to do a couple a week for the month of June on the Creep On June project. So do keep an eye out for those on my channel, and I will have a playlist up. The first week of the month might be a little bit odd because, as I said in my other video, I am going to be away this week. My mum, bless her, turns 80 next week, and I'm taking her away for a couple of days to celebrate her birthday. So I'm going to try and get a couple of videos done before I go, and then next week I'll be right into it with 2 videos a week, and hopefully I'll get, you know, a couple of pages done in those videos, or I might have completed a page offline and I'll show you what I've been doing. So, but you know, as always, if you've got any questions, feel free to ask, and please do, you know, if you're enjoying what you're seeing, please do like and subscribe, because then other people get to see things too. I'm going to move that one down a little bit, and I'm going to put that label in there, I think. Okay, I think for today that's enough. So there's my first couple of pages. We've got the introduction talking about what this journal is and some of the creatures that might be in it, and here are some of them designed to look a little bit like, you know, bits from a sketchbook. All right, so I'm not sure where I'm going to go tomorrow or later in the week. I will have a look through the ephemera and see what grabs me. As I say, I'm not sticking to the day order. I'm going to do more about what grabs me on the day when I have a look. So thank you very much for watching, but for now, ka kite anō.